Well, all done for the night. A great result in Prince Edward Island. Third, just beat at the wire. Jason Hughes did a great job with Rock Shining Star. I'm eating these bottle caps. Ever have these? I haven't had them since I was a kid. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get diabetes. I've eaten like a whole box of them. They're really good. Anyway, Jason did a fantastic job with that horse tonight. I didn't know how he'd be. The rail, tough spot for a horse getting rough. Last time I raced him at Northfield. Now, in fairness, the hobbles were out longer and we didn't have the equipment on him we had on him tonight. Regardless, the shoeing changes, the equipment, everything involved with tonight worked. Jason did a great job. You know, we had him rigged to run out, and he had trouble getting him up into the pass lane. I think if he gets in there clean, no, he's definitely second. I don't know if he runs down the winner, but he's definitely second. And he raced great. Did a great job driving him. You guys have to understand what it's like to be a guy from Prince Edward Island and get a horse in the Gold Cup. Jason Hughes had a horse in every elimination. I think he was fourth, and then third tonight. And as I said to him moments ago, make no mistake, this horse is a contender. He said he got around the track well. If he's getting around Charlottetown Driving Park well, and he puts him in a good spot to win on Saturday, don't be shocked if he does. Because he is a legit competitor and tough horse. So happy that we bought two horses for the Gold Cup. They both got in, and both serious contenders as we head into Saturday. Now, let's talk about what else took place today. We'll get Ontario out of the way. All gas, no brakes, weaved through late to be 4th or 5th. Looked good. Struggled in the last turn. You got to fix that. I guess he's always been a little bumpy in the corners, but still got to let those hobbles out another hole or two. I think close him back up. You had him open for a bit. It's cool. Close him back up. Especially if he draws inside somewhere where you can let him rock next week. That's what we need to do with all gas, no brakes. Now, Love and Affection raced good. A super conservative drive from Chris Lems. You could tell he didn't want to force her 3 wide coming out of the turn. Went back to the inside and shot up through the inside. It was the right move. I dare say I might be a little more aggressive with her next week. But coming off a break, he drove her right. He did the right thing by the filly, and I think she'll be fine next week. And then great bet outside post. What are you gonna do? You know, you can't just blast him and hurt him. And you know, he doesn't race well when he's pushed to the limit and when he's roughed up. You have the outside in a track that's in a race that's going to go in 54, which did go in 54. There's not much you can do. You got to turn the page from the outside with that guy. Now we get to my day, which was our day. Arson raced great. You know, a lot went on with Arson. You know what was cool? I'm going to tell you something. So Arson's third beat a length, paces 49-4. Our second sophomore to pace 49-4 this year. Pretty good achievement. I got at least 6 emails after Arson's race saying, Anthony, the top class is actually softer than the middle. All 6 of you said the same thing. You're right. Now it was our partner Randy who broke it down even more efficiently and said, we all know quietly we're still thinking Little Brown Jug with Arson. Even though he got beat in the middle class today, it was a fair mile, a good horse, and he's as handy on a half as he is on a mile. All things are correct, which he just said. You're going to race for 30-30 and potentially 100. That's 160. Or you can race for 80-80, which is 160. Skip the final and go to Little Brown Jug. And under my eyes, the 80 was every bit as top or as easy, depending on how you look at it, as the 30. The top and the middle. You're right. All 6 of you are correct. And that's exactly what we are going to do. We're going to race him in the 80 as next 2. If he looks like a major contender in the 80, final goes for 400. Now we're going to have a discussion. Little Brown Jug goes for $1 million, but there's also going to be a ton of monsters there waiting for you. So this is going to be an extremely exciting next 2 weeks for Arson. Horse a good horse regardless. But what takes place moving forward is going to be rather exciting over the next 3 weeks. So that will be a lot of fun. And I'll tell you this. Scotty agreed with all 6 of you also. 7 counting me. He said, yeah, I think you're right. Put him in the 80. That's exactly what we're going to do. Now, the rest of the day, one shining star in the day. Some flat miles and a couple of really bad ones. Gymboree raced good, a little flat-footed. A little flat today. Now, Erica's done the right thing. Him and Kathy have been working hard to keep her cleaned up so she doesn't bleed. They've done a great job. We scoped her today. Couple of very small specks. Nothing really. Found in Gymboree today. Now, she's got 2 weeks till her next race. I dare say Saturday we can train her on Lasix rather hard. Come back Wednesday even with a decent duster also. And make sure she is tight for her next start. Her next start may as well be the Breeders' Crown, because she has to do good in that class if we have any interest or hope of making the final. Just the way it is. So that was Gymboree. I want to end with the one that impressed me the most. Rosetta and Green Glitter pitched them out the door. Not the horses, the lines. It took me about 45 minutes to figure it out. Rosetta was completely out of her mind today. This was the Rosetta that I scratched at the Meadows 34 days ago. That's important. 34 days ago. It wasn't until after I raced Green Glitter, and she was terrible also, that I got thinking, the week I scratched Rosetta, Green Glitter schooled terribly. Tim had the vet give her a hot shot, a sweat shot for her ovaries, and then put them both on Regamate. They both raced great. Rosetta was second her first start to a trot in the Meadows, then come down here, raced great. It was weird because after the race, everybody saw it. You saw what kind of a show she put on. It was a rodeo. And I was sitting there, and Yannick Gingras said, that looked fun. I said, that was the filly that I waited 3/8 of a mile for you to move your horse last week. And I followed you, cleared you, and you come back on and beat me. He said, really? I said, yeah. They said, she did this. At the time, I said 4 or 5 weeks ago. And it almost started to dawn on me right there. It wasn't 4 or 5 weeks ago. It was almost 30 days ago. I think she's in heat again, badly. That was my thought at this point. Now we go into Green Glitter. She races terrible. Pacey and rude, and it was also the same time frame. Both these fillies were in heat today. Bad. Dr. Stowe came by the barn after, scoped all the horses. That's how we knew that Gymboree did not bleed. Scoped Arson clean. Gave a hot shot, that sweat shot to actually no, that's not true. Gave a shot of Chorionic to Green Glitter and to Rosetta. Eric also said that she's been touching up on that right jack and it was hurting her. We had changed the shoes behind on Momento Mori to a half-round, half-swedge with a little trailer because he too would get into his high shin area, jack area. He said, do you think that would be beneficial? I said, I think you're probably right. So we're going to change her shoes also. Hopefully change her attitude with that Chorionic, and then put both her and Green Glitter back on maximum doses of Regamate, depending on where you're at. So turn the page on the 2 fillies. There's nothing we can do about it now. It's done. They were sound. They were fine after. I'm pretty sure I got to the bottom of it. I'm pretty sure I know what went on. And it's very fixable. And we will fix it this week. Atrant was good, but her knees were bothering her today. Eric said she was a little stiff in the warm-up for Russell. I hope that Dr. Ruckard reached out to you. He said he was going to. I'll reach out to you also. The reason I say Russell is because Atrant is owned 99% by Dr. Ken Ruckard. Very nice man. And 1% by Russell, one of our clients. And Dr. Rucker said, Anthony, I know her knees are bothering her and we can inject them and keep going. Maybe we'll just stop with her for the year. Absolutely fine. I think that's a great idea. She's a extremely talented filly. Letting her grow up and mature is perfectly fine. In fact, we're going to do the same thing with O'Hillknow, likely, right now. For the same reasons. Exact same reasons. I don't need an x-ray, and it was funny because, it wasn't funny, but Eric said, do you want an x-ray on knees just to see what they look like? I said, I don't need an x-ray, I can draw you a picture. It's very simple. Here's the knee, and you're going to see little tiny flecks and lines in that third carpal. That's what you see with 2-year-olds like that, especially 2-year-olds that are functioning. If you come in, if you see a lame horse, okay, you might see a slab fracture, a fracture form. There might be a chip pop off there, but you're going to see a lot of swelling, discomfort, lameness in that horse. It's not what you see with the trot. She jogs out of it. I already know what's in there. You're going to see some, what the vets call remodeling. Maybe you might even see a couple of little lines in that knee, some rough patches on that third carpal, and some swelling in that joint. That's what you're going to see. I don't need to be a vet to know that. I've seen enough of them, and I know sitting behind the filly, you don't warm up out of broken bone lameness. Discomfort, stiffness, swelling. Yes, those things you can warm up from. So I don't disagree with Dr. Rucker. If he wants to turn her out, that's his prerogative, and I certainly don't disagree with it. I thought she raced great today. Very, very nice filly, and is going to be a nice filly. And now I'm going to come to our girl, Grand Slam Dio. I've touted her, and I did Green Glitter. It bothers me. I almost bit a hole in my lip during the whole race. I'm going to give her a pass because I know now what went on. We can fix that. But Grand Slam Dio, I wish we'd have qualified her free-legged. I would have loved to see her qualify. She looked good in the warm-up. And I knew, I told Scotty before, I said, I don't care about the 10-hole. I said, I'll be over in 2 steps. I'll be crossed over long before we ever get to the turn. I took my time. I crossed over most of them in 2 steps. Took my time getting the front, let one go, let 2 go. Got jammed up. Might have touched a wheel in the last turn. It's possible. Not confirmed. Kind of squeezed through, wiggled through, shot through. And the horse that beat us at the wire, that's Carl's sister. That's the one they paid all the money for last year. And really, that's the thing you have to remember. When you look at the horse, you're like, oh, Gymboree was 5th? She was a little flat. Go look at what they paid for all the horses in there. Grand Slam Dio 2nd, that's Carl's sister. Go look what they paid for the horses in there. All these races are full of 6-figure horses. Just trying to figure it all out. You know, I had floated the idea to Scotty tonight of just putting Grand Slam Dio in the top class also, following along. He didn't like that idea. I said, they're fine. It's fair. I didn't say it was a great idea. I thought it was an adequate idea. So we came to an agreement. So the reason this came about is you can't get in the Wildcat now. Snellmore is a 7,500 life, so she has to move up. But there's 4 classes of the 15. She could win this one and the next one and still not make the final potentially. The 30 has 2 divisions, and they're tough. The 80 went 54 or 55. They're all good horses. There's 12 of them in there. If I enter, there's a 6 and a 7 horse field, theoretically, if no one moves out. I'm still thinking about it. The only reason I bring it up is one, she's coming into herself. 57-2 today. Her hobbles need to go out again. But she did it the right way. The line doesn't give her any justice. Doesn't do her any justice. Leave hard from post 10. Cross over to the front. Let 2 go. Let 1 go. He lets 1 go. Get shuffled back. Jammed up through. Shot back through the inside and trot 57. That's a hell of a mile. It's not 54. It's not 55. And you don't want to hurt her. You don't want to stretch her and chase horses you can't catch. I get it. So in that regard, he's right. I just thought looking at what she's capable of, can't make the final in the 15 or the 30. And the 30 is pretty salty anyway. It's not that much difference between the 30 and the 80. No one is going from the 30 to the 80. No one's jumping from the Wildcat to the top anyway either. I'm just thinking of all this stuff. Now that Detront leaves, it opens up that stall for Gaslight Hall, although he only needs it for a couple of days. And I think shortly thereafter, we can move Melisandre in there. Get her qualified next week at the Meadows. Move her down. I'm not sure she's ready to go yet. But she's definitely ready to be training at the Red Mile. So that's the plan for today. I wouldn't say it was a spectacular day. Everybody was awesome and all the horses won. No. In fact, we didn't have one winner. Not one today. But not a bad day. Rock Shining Star, great job. Top marks for Jason Hughes. Horse race good, and he drove her good. Drove him good. Arson raced awesome. Horse is a nice horse. Gymboree, a little flat. We can fix that. Gonna train her up tight. Grand Slam Dio was awesome. Was absolutely awesome. Just picked off at the wire. Rosetta and Green Glitter, pitch them. Just turn the page. Enough talked about there. Etrant going to the field, race great, trotted 56 in a piece today. Love and Affection, she'll be much better next week. Great Bet, just needs a draw good. All gas, no brakes, head the outside, run him through the inside, race good, finished up good. I think he was actually 5th, just beat for 4th. So a good day today, a decent day today. The 2 horses that raced terrible, I explained it as well as I could from my point of view to you. Everybody else raced pretty good. Now tomorrow we got Pickpocket, Memory and Imagination, and Captain Incredible. Highly anticipated start from him. Pickpocket, Memory and Imagination are at 119, 157. That means I'm home at 6:30. Truthfully speaking, the way they walk the races today, I might be in the door with the TV on before Captain Incredible races. And then Wednesday, big night Wednesday night. We got some stake races. Rose and Alexander, Fire and Shine, gorgeous package. Delicious Stone makes another start. Militant makes his Ohio return. And that's all after Purple People Eater races. So a good night coming up. I will be watching Country Dancing 6-1. Here's a filly that jogged in 53. Pay attention to what I'm about to tell you. Jogged in 53 flat her last start and is 6-1 in a grassroots race. That's how tough the Stallion Series division is. That is hard to believe. Anyway, let's get through tomorrow first. 3 coming up tomorrow. We had how many today? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 today. We went 0 for 10 in the wins, but everybody for the most part raced really, really well. So now you're all caught up for today. I will talk to you about tomorrow, and then throughout the rest of the week. So as it looks right now, Mark McDonald will drive. Time is on my side and ready for landing. Unfortunately, Drebin did not get in. He'll drive them on Saturday. James McDonald will drive Chicago Hall in Ontario on Saturday. I believe Brett Miller will drive Aunt Lily and Freedom Hill on Saturday. I will be heading to Prince Edward Island to race Save America on Saturday. Race against Rock Shining Star and 7 other ones. So with that, I'll let you go. I hope you had a great day. It wasn't a tremendously wonderful day, but man, Grand Slam deal race, some kind of good. Thoroughly pleased with her. Continue to be thoroughly pleased with Arson. Rock Shining Star, as I said, over the moon, happy for all my partners on him. Everybody else raced decent to pretty good to bad. I will talk to you all very soon. Take care, everybody.